Imagine being able to explore what could have been, those moments in the past that almost happened, but for some reason never did. Today, we'll learn a tense that opens the door to a world of possibilities and regrets. We will also read a scary story in Italian. Ciao, sono Anna e questo è My Italian Circle. Welcome back to Italian Grammar Explained in English. If you want to improve your Italiano and feel more confident, this is the right place. Today I will explain the past conditional, il condizionale passato. This grammar topic was requested by our patron Cynthia. Even if you already speak some Italian, learning new grammar concepts in English will help you focus more effectively. This topic is B1, but it's good for everyone, so keep watching.
Anna, devi spiegare la grammatica. Hai preparato la lezione?
Cosa? No, scusa, avrei preparato la lezione, ma ero troppo occupata.
E cosa dovevi fare?
Dovevo leggere questa storia, è troppo affascinante, ma non ho finito.
Ah sì? Vediamo.
No, prima di leggere devo spiegare la grammatica. Se vuoi leggere la storia con me, prima dobbiamo parlare del condizionale passato. Avrei preparato la lezione, ma ero troppo occupata. I would have prepared the lesson, but I was too busy. Avrei preparato, I would have prepared, this is a condizionale passato, the past conditional tense. Let's see how to form it and then we'll learn how to use it. Easy! Facile! We just need the present conditional of avere or essere, depending on the verb, and the past participle. Pause the video and take a screenshot if you want. As always, you need to remember the good old rules about auxiliaries, avere or essere. If you need a refresher, we have a video about it. The link is in the description. Let's conjugate a few verbs to give you more confidence from the start. Io avrei parlato. Tu avresti saltato. Sara avrebbe detto. Noi saremmo partiti or partite. Make sure to pronounce two M's here, otherwise it sounds like the future simple. Saremmo, saremo. Saremmo, saremo. Voi avreste mangiato. Write this one in the comments. Now let's do a reverse exercise. I will say some sentences and you have to identify the past conditional, il condizionale passato. Avremmo fatto una gita al mare, ma il tempo era brutto. Avrei mangiato un gelato, ma la gelateria era chiusa per ferie. Marco sarebbe voluto andare al cinema, ma non c'era niente di bello da vedere. Sandra avrebbe voluto leggere, ma era troppo stanca. Avremmo fatto, avrei mangiato, sarebbe voluto, avrebbe voluto, are all verbs in the condizionale passato. Take a good look at the four examples. Don't you notice anything peculiar? Well, in the third and fourth sentences, the verb is the same, but there are two different auxiliaries. Why? Sarebbe voluto and avrebbe voluto are both the past conditional of volere in the form lui, lei. In these sentences, volere is followed by a verb, and that verb is what decides the auxiliary. Andare wants essere. Sarebbe voluto andare. Leggere wants avere. Avrebbe voluto leggere. Clearly, if the verb volere is followed by an object, we use avere. Sara avrebbe voluto un gelato. Sarah would have liked an ice cream. This is the rule for all modal verbs. Look. Io sarei potuta andare al cinema, ma Sandra no. Avrei potuto dire la verità, ma non ho detto niente. Avresti dovuto studiare, perché non l'hai fatto? Lucia sarebbe dovuta andare al lavoro, ma ha dormito troppo. As I always say, remember that with essere the past participle must agree with the subject. Marco è potuto andare al mare, potuto, masculine. Laura è potuta andare al mare, potuta, feminine. Before going on, let me remind you that we have talked about the past conditional in 2 other videos. You will find the links below. Ora possiamo leggere la storia.
Era una notte d'inverno e il vecchio castello sulla montagna era buio e freddo. La povera Amelia nel cuore della notte tremava di paura. Sapeva che sarebbe successo qualcosa di terribile. Sentiva dei suoni mostruosi venire dalla porta in fondo alla camera da letto. Voci umane, pianti e orribili risa. Sarebbe scappata via, ma non aveva la forza di alzarsi. Da sotto la porta filtrava una specie di nebbia gialla. Avrebbe chiesto aiuto, ma sapeva che il signore del castello era in realtà un antico demone che avrebbe bevuto il suo sangue alla prima occasione. Amelia non vedeva una via d'uscita.
The past conditional tense can express several shades of meaning. In our story, we look at 2 very important ones. Let's break it down sentence by sentence. Era una notte d'inverno e il vecchio castello sulla montagna era buio e freddo. La povera Amelia nel cuore della notte tremava di paura. It was a winter night and the old castle on the mountain was dark and cold. Poor Amelia shivered with fear in the middle of the night. Sapeva che sarebbe successo qualcosa di terribile. And here it is, our condizionale passato. She knew something terrible would happen. Here the tense is used to express a future action from the point of view of the past. Amelia knew, in the past, that something terrible would happen, that something terrible was going to happen. Sentiva dei suoni mostruosi venire dalla porta in fondo alla camera da letto. Voci umane, pianti e orribili risa. She could hear monstrous sounds coming from the door at the end of the bedroom. Human voices, crying, and horrible laughter. Unsettling, I like that. Sarebbe scappata via, ma non aveva la forza di alzarsi. She would have run away, but she didn't have the strength to get up. Sarebbe scappata via, ma this is an action that could have happened, but didn't, because Amelia was petrified by fear. Da sotto la porta filtrava una specie di nebbia gialla. A kind of yellow mist filtered from under the door. Avrebbe chiesto aiuto, ma sapeva che il signore del castello era in realtà un antico demone. She would have asked for help, but she knew that the lord of the castle was actually an ancient demon, che avrebbe bevuto il suo sangue alla prima occasione, who would drink her blood at the first opportunity. Here we see both meanings. Avrebbe chiesto aiuto, ma she would have asked for help, but an action that didn't happen in the first place for some reason, but could have. Then, un antico demone che avrebbe bevuto il suo sangue, an ancient demon who would drink her blood at the first opportunity, the future in the past. Amelia non vedeva una via d'uscita. Amelia saw no way out. But do you? Any ideas on where the story could go from here? Share your thoughts in the comments. Parla con me. The past conditional tense is a great ally to express various meanings, in addition to those we have already seen. We can express an opinion about the past. Secondo me avresti dovuto risparmiare. In my opinion, you should have saved money. A doubt. Laura non sapeva che cosa avrebbe fatto Paolo. Laura didn't know what Paolo would have done. A speculation, a fact not confirmed, often used in the news. Secondo alcune fonti, i ladri sarebbero entrati dalla finestra. According to some sources, the thieves entered from the window. It is also used in unreal conditionals to express the impossible consequence of an action that has not happened. Se avessi studiato di più, avresti passato l'esame. If you had studied harder, you would have passed the exam. But you didn't study and you didn't pass the exam. I'm aware that this may sound like a lot to process, but in the end the conjugation is very simple. The present conditional of avere or essere and a past participle. And if you compare it with the English would have plus a past participle, you can usually remember and guess the meaning from the context. And now, one last sentence. The past conditional may also express something that is impossible to achieve either in the present or the future. Avrei spiegato più dettagli, ma devo andare. I would have explained more details, but I must go. I'll now leave you to ponder today's grammar. I hope you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments. To help you understand and remember, I prepared more exercises in this week's additional material on Patreon. As always, if you're a patron, download your PDF and then come back here and tell me if you found it useful. Be active! Ci vediamo la prossima settimana!